Hello, this is Molly Reamer with Bridget's Grove in 30 Days of Goddess, and this is a quick little video about some ways that I incorporate my word of the year into my daily life. Some of the ways that I make sure to live my word, to engage with my word, to keep it front and center, to make it into, I speak of word of the year sometimes as almost a type of talisman or spell, if you will, that to my eyes is something that you engage with all year long. It's not something you just pick in January and then let go of or occasionally think about, but it becomes a living presence in your life. It becomes a promise, a practice, a prayer, an opportunity, an invitation, a experience. And so these are some of the ways that I use to bring that word into my life and to inhabit it fully and to use it well and wisely to keep my promise, so to speak, to the word. So the first way is that I get a ring. Whoops, I didn't think this over very clearly because they're spun around and I only have one hand. Okay, ring. Excuse me for this strangeness. I get a ring made, and the one on the bottom is stainless steel, and then the one on the top, I'm going to switch my hands real quick. Sorry about this. Not well thought out. There we go. The top one is silver, and the top one came from Betsy Farmer Designs, and I used to get a sterling silver one each year. Then I started to get the little stackable stainless steel ones instead because I could kind of layer them up. So the first year that I got a ring made, my word of the year was magic, and basically that's a word that's been probably 6 or 7 years ago, and I still, want to inhabit that word, so I continue to wear that one all the time, even though I change out the stainless steel one. So attend was my word of the year for 2022. And so I'll take that one off and trade it out, but the magic one will stay because I continue to engage with that word. And then on my other hand, basically, maybe you cannot have too many words, apparently. I love words and they're important to me, so no wonder I connect with this word of the year concept and love it so much. So I've got the stainless steel one on the bottom for center, which is my word of the year for 2023, and then I have another Betsy Farmer one that had nourish and joy on it, the year that I had nourish and joy both as my words. So having the ring, I find, makes you really, you see it every day, and it's literally like you have the word of your word of the year is in your hands, quite literally, and so you're invited to live it each year. And so then the other thing I do is I like jewelry, obviously, and so I wear, and I don't have one for this year or for the last couple of years, but I have gotten my word as a bracelet, and I think I'm doing that for 2023. Is I either have a little charm with the word that I attach onto a bracelet, or I make the bracelet out of like a metal washer that's been stamped with the word. So I'm going to do that again this year. I don't have that yet, but I've actually ordered it. So I get an extra little charm stamped that I then wear on a necklace, and I wear that pretty much every day, all day, even into the shower. It is there, so the word is there to remind you. And then this is a large, more of kind of like a, spell necklace, if you will. And it has 365 Days of Goddess on it, on this, along with my crow and my cauldron. So this is kind of like a reminder of, what the year is about to me, or what I want to most embody or invite. And then also I have word of the year goddesses. These are, our spaces for these are sold out this year, though you can still order the charms by themselves and then add them to a goddess that you already have, or even have the charm shipped to us and we'll put it onto a goddess that you can order from us. So you can still get a word of the year goddess, but the official word of the year goddess listings are closed for 2023. So this one is a little bit more complicated. She's got both she's got 365 Days of Goddess, and then she has Attend, which is my word of the year. So I'm going to keep the 365 Days of Goddess concept as I move forward into 2023 with 30 Days of Goddess. And so that's what I got. I have another stainless steel ring on the way with that on it. But then she has other elements on her belt to remind me of, what I wish to embody in the year. Then this one is simpler, and she only has the single washer charm that says 365 days of goddess. So she can, the word of the year goddesses, I find they either, like this one stays in my journaling bag, and then this one sits by my computer. So you see them, you engage with them, you remind yourself, you touch back in with it. And then truly, I love the jewelry element, and I love having the word literally close at hand, right? Like literally close at hand. I love that. But then the other way that I find that is extremely powerful to truly live your word is that I keep a word of the year note every single day of the year in my We Moon date book. I started doing this when my word was magic, and I've continued to use magic every day since that time. So maybe it was only 5 years ago that my word was magic. I could look it back up, but I'm not doing that right now. And so for every day of the year, I write down, I notice something magical and I write it down. And so I decided to do that as a way to live my word, to engage with my word, to inhabit my word, to embody my word when the word was magic. Like, what is here? I'm going to challenge myself to see something magical every single day. And and if I don't see something, I'm going to go out and find it. You know, if the moment doesn't spontaneously arrive, I'm going to go seeking it. And so since then, I have then added, so I still keep the magic note. I know my handwriting is amazing. I still keep the magic note, but then I add the current word of the year and I write a note about that. So my current word of the year is attend. And so I write what I attended to below it. But on the years when it was joy, when it was nourish, I would write a little note about what nourishment I experienced or how did I nourish myself. I'd write a little note about what brought me joy. And I wrote a note about magic. So you could do this same kind of concept and just keep a magical note. Oh, and then when I travel, I actually keep it in a different book. So the magical note is still there, but it's in a different book because I don't bring the We Moon with me. But when you get to the end of the year, you have literally 365 notes about your word. You have 365 moments of living your word, embodying your word, bearing witness to your word, experiencing your word, seeing your word, knowing your word as a reality. And so then one of the other things I did for this upcoming year is I did stamp a bookmark for myself. I sometimes sense more than one word, so I usually sense the word of the year beginning in August. I start to feel it, and so I really was feeling center for 2023 very strongly. I already have my ring. I already have my stamps for my goddesses. Oh, I forgot to show her. Here she is. Oops. With her center word, I'm keeping it simple so her belt only has the charm on it. Oops. This year. So I already have her and I've been carrying her around. I have my other charms ordered. And so center really feels right. But I also feel a call towards the expansive. And so I made a bookmark with both words on it. So center's my primary, expansive's my support reminder. And so a bookmark can be another way. You can keep it in if you have 30 Days of Goddess prayer book practice, you can keep your word in there, and it is another way to stay engaged with your word throughout the year instead of just a casual dedication. Because I really view a word of the year as a promise. It's a promise, it's a commitment, it's a prayer, it's powerful. And so these are some ways and ideas for how to bring the word into life for you and to really inhabit and live that word of the year. Thanks for being here.